safer world is possible, and together we can and will make it happen. Thank you.
When you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home, but oftentimes you also find yourself again.
Hello, Squaddies. A warm welcome to Sussexful. This is the space where we stand with Harry and Meghan, Archie and Lilibet. I am your host, Emma. I love and support them because they show courage, kindness, and strength. Through Sussexful, I share positivity, truth, and inspiration from their journey. Here, we celebrate their work, their voices, and their impact on the world. Together, we push back against negativity by spreading facts and love. Stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. Let the countdown begin. The rise of Harry and Meghan, a media narrative unraveled. The Meghan Sussex phenomenon represents a profound cultural moment where public perception dramatically shifts against entrenched media narratives. For years, British tabloids and royal commentators have attempted to categorize and marginalize Meghan Markle through contradictory, racially charged characterizations, first portraying her as an outsider straight out of Compton during her initial relationship with Prince Harry, then later dismissing her as unrelatable when she successfully carved her own path outside traditional royal expectations. This calculated media strategy exposes a deeper systemic bias, where a biracial American woman who achieves success is simultaneously deemed media. Newspaper montage with headlines using words like urban and elite about Meghan Markle, editorial footage of Meghan Markle in diverse settings, royal events and public appearances, too urban and too elite, too ambitious and too disconnected. The public's growing awareness and rejection of these manufactured narratives signals a powerful cultural awakening, with millions now recognizing and actively challenging the discriminatory undertones that have long dominated royal and media discourse. The media's manufactured narrative, Meghan Sussex and the shifting goalposts. The British media's treatment of Meghan Sussex reveals a calculated and deeply problematic pattern of character assassination that shifts with each turn of her public narrative. When Meghan first entered Prince Harry's orbit, tabloids and commentators weaponized her background, dismissively labeling her as straight out of Compton, a racially charged stereotype designed to marginalize her identity and accomplishments. Yet, as Meghan and Harry found success beyond the royal institution, these same media outlets pivoted to a new critique, suddenly declaring her unrelatable, a transparent attempt to undermine her growing influence and popularity. This linguistic gymnastics exposes the media's desperate strategy to constantly reframe Meghan's achievements as somehow threatening or inappropriate, whether she's portrayed as an urban outsider or an elite figure who doesn't conform to their narrow expectations. The contradiction is glaring. How can she simultaneously be too ghetto and too sophisticated, unless the real issue is simply her refusal to be constrained by predetermined narratives? The rise of Meghan Markle, breaking stereotypes and connecting with the public. Long before her royal romance, Meghan Markle had already established herself as a multifaceted advocate and relatable public figure, systematically challenging media narratives that sought to pigeonhole her identity. Her pre-Harry activism, including her work with UN Women and championing gender equality, demonstrated a consistent commitment to social causes that transcended the narrow stereotypes often thrust upon her by sensationalist media outlets. The contradictory portrayals, simultaneously labeling her as straight out of Compton and later claiming she was unrelatable, exposed the inherent bias and logical inconsistency in media representations. Meghan's genuine ability to connect with diverse audiences stems from her authentic approach to storytelling, her transparent vulnerability, and her willingness to challenge systemic inequalities, qualities that resonate deeply with millions who see themselves reflected in her journey of breaking traditional barriers and redefining societal expectations. The relentless backlash against Meghan Markle really represents a calculated media assault fueled by a toxic coalition of 4 opportunistic royals, and these sensationalist press outlets that are just desperate to maintain their outdated narrative. Despite years of malicious reporting that, swings between racist dog whistles and outright character assassination, millions are finally seeing through all that manufactured outrage, recognizing the deliberate campaign designed to marginalize a biracial American woman who simply refuses to be silenced. The media's hypocritical stance, first denigrating her as straight out of Compton, and then, oddly enough, pivoting to label her unrelatable when she successfully challenges their stereotypes. Well, it really exposes a deeply ingrained system of prejudice that seeks to control and diminish anyone who doesn't conform to traditional royal expectations. In the face of relentless media criticism, Meghan has emerged as a powerful voice that, honestly, resonates with millions worldwide, effectively drowning out the cacophony of critical dribble. Her remarkable ability to rise above all those toxic narratives has transformed her from a target of media vitriol to a true symbol of resilience and success. Despite continuous attempts by traditional media outlets to undermine her credibility, Meghan has not only survived, but actually thrived, proving that the power of authenticity and determination can, in fact, overcome even the most aggressive public attacks. The public's growing support really demonstrates a collective awakening to the unfair treatment she has endured, with people increasingly recognizing the systemic bias and manufactured controversies designed to discredit her. Meghan's journey, I think, illustrates a profound narrative of triumph, where her genuine spirit and unwavering commitment to her values have ultimately spoken louder than the negative press, inspiring countless individuals who see themselves reflected in her strength and grace. In the intricate tapestry of the Sussex saga, Meghan's identity as a biracial American woman became, well, a lightning rod for intense societal scrutiny and media manipulation. The relentless British press weaponized her racial background, oscillating between exoticizing her as straight out of Compton during her initial relationship with Prince Harry, and later dismissing her as unrelatable when she successfully carved her own path. This calculated narrative really exposed the deep-rooted systemic racism and double standards prevalent within both media circles and traditional royal institutions, revealing how interracial relationships continue to challenge long-established social norms. Meghan's experience, honestly, laid bare the uncomfortable realities of prejudice, where her multifaceted identity was repeatedly reduced to simplistic and contradictory stereotypes, demonstrating just how race remains a complex and volatile lens through which public figures are often unfairly judged and misrepresented. Meghan's advocacy, honestly, transcends traditional royal boundaries, establishing her as a powerful voice for social justice and global understanding. Her remarkable ability to connect with diverse audiences really comes from a genuine empathy and lived experience that resonates across cultural lines. From championing women's empowerment to supporting marginalized communities, she's leveraged her platform to amplify critical conversations about equality, mental health, and social change. Her efforts, well, they extend far beyond performative activism, demonstrating a deep commitment to meaningful transformation that challenges systemic barriers and inspires collective action. Whether she's addressing gender equity, racial inclusion, or mental wellness, Meghan has consistently shown an extraordinary talent for bridging divides and creating spaces where multiple perspectives can be heard and respected. The British royal family's tepid response to the relentless media onslaught against Meghan Markle revealed, a disturbing pattern of institutional racism and passive-aggressive marginalisation. By maintaining a strategic silence and tacitly allowing inflammatory narratives to proliferate, senior royals effectively sanctioned the destructive media campaign targeting the Duchess of Sussex. When Meghan and Harry ultimately made the unprecedented decision to step back from their royal duties, it was less a dramatic exit and more a necessary act of self-preservation against a toxic institutional environment that honestly seemed designed to break her spirit. Their withdrawal exposed the deep-seated contradictions within the monarchy, an organisation that claims to represent modern British values, while, at the same time, protecting archaic systems of privilege and exclusion. The public's perception of Meghan Markle has undergone a profound transformation, evolving from skepticism to genuine admiration and support. Her ability to resonate with the masses really comes from an authentic narrative that transcends royal protocols and traditional boundaries. Where once she was marginalised and mischaracterised, Meghan has now become a powerful symbol of resilience, connecting deeply with people who have experienced systemic discrimination and institutional barriers. Her personal story of navigating complex racial dynamics, challenging outdated narratives, and maintaining dignity in the face of relentless criticism has, quite honestly, struck a chord with millions worldwide. The public increasingly sees her not just as a royal figure, but as a relatable human being who refuses to be silenced, turning her personal struggles into a broader conversation about representation, equality, and the human right to define one's own identity beyond societal expectations. The Meghan Sussex narrative continues to captivate global audiences, transcending the narrow confines of traditional media narratives and royal expectations. As public discourse evolves, Meghan's influence has become increasingly nuanced and powerful, showing a remarkable ability to reshape perceptions and challenge systemic narratives of race, privilege, and representation. Her ongoing impact extends far beyond the royal institution, with millions of supporters amplifying her message of authenticity and social change, effectively drowning out the persistent critical rhetoric that has characterized her journey. The Meghan Markle phenomenon has transformed from a royal controversy into a broader cultural dialogue about empowerment, intersectionality, and personal agency, signaling a profound shift in how public figures can control their own stories and challenge entrenched media narratives that once sought to marginalize and mischaracterize her experience.